We are in Madrid and this is the Minibus Eurotest 2024. Behind me there is 6 minibuses that all will compete about the title and the award of being the Minibus of the year 2025. 4 of the vehicles are regular minibuses and 2 of the vehicles are microbuses. And now we will go out and test drive each individual bus, and in the end we will figure out who will be the winner of this award. Welcome to Madrid. And guys, this film marks our 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much for following us. And now, if you are not subscribing, do it right now and follow our adventure on Bussmagasinet. So now we are in the first vehicle of the 6 in the minibus test of 2025, or we are still in 2024, but we are finding the best minibus of 2025. And this is the training ground for Real Madrid. And now there is some security guards up there. The day before we are filming this video, they were playing a match somewhere else. So I think the team is coming back very soon. So maybe we will get, for example, Mbappé to say some words about the bus we are in right now. We are in a Romanian built bus. This is the Avearu, and they started this production in their own workshop, building some buses for their own company, and then they realized, this is quite good product. Let's make this a serial production and let's take it out on the commercial market. And they did. And now we are here, 9 years after they started their production in Romania. And this is the first time I'm driving the e-Sprinter base. This company can build 2 buses a day. So it's about 500 vehicles a year. And now we're talking about a range, because this one has almost 500 kilometers of range while it's fully charged. And now we have 98% left on the battery and we can still take it for almost 450 kilometers. So the range here is very good. So now you can do a full day operation without charging during the whole day. Red light suddenly, this red light system here in Spain, I don't understand.
Can you say that again, please?
I don't understand the red light system here in Spain.
I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that right now.
On the video we saw when they presented this vehicle, I felt happy when I saw the video because it felt like this was a homemade vehicle. But when you sit here and drive, you feel its quality. And this vehicle contains a very high beeping sound, which drives me crazy. I've been driving this bus now for 10 minutes and I already lost my ears. Except of that, we have 16 comfortable seats on board and a very fancy solution of the wheelchair seats, because here you have seats that you can just flip in, foldable seats, and then it allows you to have 3 wheelchairs on board. This is a great vehicle and versatile vehicle if you want to have people that needs extra help in daily life with wheelchairs. And this vehicle is also a special vehicle because nothing here is welded. Everything is glued and everything is handcrafted. Fantastic work from the Romanian side. But they did have some struggle to actually get this vehicle approved by Mercedes-Benz. Since nothing was welded, they couldn't screw down the seats and the construction. They had to do a really hard work with Mercedes-Benz to make this a Mercedes-Benz vehicle. But now it is, and it's so silent and nice to drive. What I see here in the front, it's very simple. This is driving a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. But what I like a lot, because I asked, is there any retarder here? No, it's not. But they have the one drive pedal with the plus and minus handle behind the steering wheel. So I feel like a Formula 1 driver while I'm driving this one. If I push 2 times on the plus sign, I will get 2 pluses on the dashboard. And that means if I now release the throttle, I will just roll out over the hill. But if I now push 4 times to the left and I release the throttle, it will brake quite immediately. Ding, 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 ding. And if I lean a little bit back, try to sit comfortable, I will have my head into a TV screen. But that's of course just a configuration for this particular vehicle. But inside you have the comfortable seats, they look nice. So this vehicle can be a very good disabled transport or can also be used as a VIP transport. But we have more vehicles to drive. Let's see what Tom finds in the next one.
now we are in the Otokar e-Centro. This is a short bus with a lot of capacity. You have space enough for 16 people sitting and 16 people standing. Now this is a little bit different configuration in this bus because they made it specially for golf bags. There is no space left for the wheelchair, but there is a lot of space for golf bags if you like that. The range of this bus is 275 kilometers in full charge. It means that you can drive it in a full day operation. And this is the perfect bus to drive in a small city. It's only 6.6 meters long and you have the wheels more or less in each corner of the bus. But one thing I realized when I start driving this one, that it's really noisy from the driveline. I don't believe it should be like this one. So when you start driving, you have more and more noise from the driveline, and then we come up to a speed like 30 kilometers an hour and it's quiet. It is also one of the few buses in the test with digital mirrors. You have one standing mirror here and you have the wide angle in the bottom. The same on the other side. One thing I can see right away that we are missing, it's the marks on the screen where you have the rear tires and where you have the end of the bus. Luckily you can see the rear axle on this one because you have wider wheels than the body is. So you have a little bit part of the wheelhouse that you can see on the mirror. My first impression is it is quite good to drive. I feel really sitting very high up so I can see everything I want and have to see. And you also have the recuperation of energy on the handle, just like the retarder. So you have 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 steps, 5 steps. And I'm just wondering what type of bus Magne is driving right away. So we just move over to him.
So now we are moved into another sprinter vehicle in this test, and this one is called City Max and it's delivered by Intertraction Electric. And this is actually also the only bus in the test that is not electric. This is a 19-seater vehicle.
Sorry, something went wrong.
Inside here we have 10 seats and there is space for 19 standing passengers. So in total capacity you can have 29 passengers on board this bus. All the way in the back we have a lower floor because there is 2 doors on this bus. So you have a flat floor from the first door and all the way to the back. Then you have 2 small steps down to a lower area, which is perfect if you want to have your wheelchair on board. And there is also a door so you can just roll it very easily and simple in. And I have to say, it's nice to drive a diesel engine. Nowadays everything is electric, you don't hear anything, and if you hear anything it's beeps and noises. Here is just the normal noise that you like and are used to hear. And what I also like about this vehicle, you have the old-fashioned Telma brake. You don't see that so much anymore. And this is the magnetic brake, and now I'm coming into the roundabouts. Oh, fantastic. But this also has been a brake system with some faults upon time because this is magnetic. It gives a lot of heat while driving. So for example in Norway where you have kilometer after kilometer after kilometer with downhill down a mountain, it's maybe not the best way to use the Telma all the way. But again, on minibuses you don't find retarders at all, so I'm really satisfied with seeing this Telma, this extra brake in the vehicle. Where I'm seated, it's just like a normal sprinter. I have the regular mirrors from the sprinter here to the left, one standing, one wide angle. The wide angle only covers like from the door handle and down, so it doesn't give me the whole perspective of the traffic, but it helps me in certain situations. And also to the right we have the mirrors. You don't see anything in the right mirror. You have to really adjust yourself to the perfect angle. And there, oh, I see something to my right. So to have my overview for the back door, I do have a monitor here in the front of the bus, so I can see clearly what's happening back of the bus. Right now I can see my colleagues sitting back here, but when I stop and open the door, I get a clear vision of everything what's happening in the back door. So I don't squeeze anyone when I close the door from the back. So very nice to see that we still have a normal combustion engine in a minibus test. It gives hope for us that still likes to drive a diesel engine.
And now we are on board in Tremonia City 75. In the past, this was a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter factory where they produced a different type of Sprinter up to City 75 and also the Travel 75. And I also remember they also built one with a buggy axle. And this one have a good capacity. We have 12 seats and 22 standing passenger on this one. So the range of this bus is 300 kilometers, so we can easily use this in daily service. And the charging time when you are charging 120 kilowatts, it's approximately 1 hour. If you are listening very carefully, you can even hear the recuperation of energy when I release the throttle. It's so hard, but there is a secret button. You see on the steering wheel you have plus and minus. On this one it's not working, but you can do it on the screen. You can take it completely off and then it's rolling out. And in the future you can use the plus and minus as Magne have shown you in the Sprinter earlier today. So even if this is the old Mercedes-Benz Sprinter factory, they are not using the driveline from the Mercedes-Benz. They are using the driveline from Elinta Motors in Lithuania. So it's a little bit strange, but at the same time they have a solution that is working really well. And we also know it from Norway, where they have this driveline in minibuses from Altas. On this one we have analog and also digital mirrors. You first have the analog standing and the wide angle on both sides. You have a blind spot mirror, and you have the big window on the right side, so you can easily see the mirror on this Sprinter. And on top of that, you have a digital mirror that's showing you the right side of the bus. So when you start turning the bus, it will come on the screen, so you can follow if there is a bicycle or pedestrian on the side of the bus. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen Magne today, so maybe he's driving another bus, or maybe he's in the bar at the hotel, I don't know. So let's take a look.
Welcome on board in the Bluebus. And this bus we were looking at IAA. And I think this is a cute little vehicle because you have the wheels in all the corners of the bus. There is no overhang in this bus, and it's so small and narrow. And this bus is 6 meters long and only 2.2 meters wide. This is like driving a little go-kart on the city streets of Madrid. As you can see, I don't wear a seatbelt, and that's not because I don't want to. This is because it's not installed. It's a clean city bus. It's not supposed to go more than 70 kilometers per hour, and probably during the day of operation it will never even reach 70 kilometers per hour. We have a capacity here about 120 kilowatt hours, and that gives a range of about 260 kilometers. Unless you have to use all the air conditioning system, then it goes down a bit. But for a regular city day operation, I think this is an okay range to have on a city traffic route. Of course, when you brake, it will regenerate a little bit back to the battery. So if you drive sensible, you might get some kilometers extra of the vehicle. And everyone starts to know that I like a good side window. And my God, look at this wide angle, super duper side window. It is manual, so I can open it like this. I just have to stretch a little bit to reach the opener. Also here to the right, I feel like I'm sitting in this panorama driver area because there is no people to the right. I'm here all by myself and I have 180 degrees perfect view. On board this bus we have 10 seats, and you also have space for one wheelchair ramp. And here you have the electric wheelchair ramp that is maneuvered here from the dashboard. Very easy to take it in and out, and also makes the operation for the driver much easier. We have digital mirrors on this vehicle. So to my left I have one standing mirror and one wide angle mirror. To my right I have one standing mirror, but I also have one blind spot mirror. I don't see the wide angle here, but I think the blind spot mirror for the front end is fantastic. I eliminate the risk of hitting anything to my right. Very good. So the left mirror is then called the level 4 mirror, and the right mirror is the level 5, which a lot of cities require these days. And this bus differs a little bit from the majority of the buses in the test. Most of them are built on Sprinter platform. This is built like an actual bus. There is only one door here in this vehicle. The door button is here to my right, and you can kneel this bus a lot. So it's very functional for disabled people with wheelchairs. The dashboard here is quite simple. You have light switches. It reminds me of a regular city bus. You see everything you need in the display, the dashboard. I feel like I'm driving a little bus here. This is very nice. And Bluebus is a French company, and they build buses in different kind of length and sizes. But now, let's see what Tom is driving right now.
Now we are on board in the serrated chassis with the body from Bluebus. First time I was sitting behind the steering wheel, I was thinking, oh, I'm in an old Sprinter. And it is an old Sprinter, but it is not. This is a mixed by the old Sprinter body structure and design built by the Chinese company. They bought the press tools after the production of the old Sprinter was finished. You also have air suspension on this one in the back part. It feels a little bit different from many other things because when we are standing still, it's starting to lift up, going down and lift up again. I also asked the question if the headlamp is moving like the xenon lights on the car, but it's not. So I really hope when you are driving it's not that you are looking at the stars. And another crazy thing when you look at the display is that it seems like you're always driving 70 kilometers an hour, even if you are standing still. But it's not the speed of the minibus, it is how much energy you have left on the battery. So instead of the RPM on the dashboard, you have an analog clock that's telling you how much percent you have left of the battery. So it's a little bit difficult in the beginning to get used to where to put your eyes. And in the middle, you have so much information that you can easily get lost. You know exactly how much amp you are charging when you are recuperate, or the amp you are using when you are driving. You have the volt, you have even the 12 volts battery, you have the RPM on the engine, you have even the temperature inside of the engine, and you have in the end the range you have left. And that is maybe the most important part. So that should be bigger and maybe the only thing you have in the display. The rest looks like a Sprinter, and the Bluebus is famous for building a beautiful interior on Sprinter. And also on this one, this is a city version, so you have also a very good inside area on this bus. In this minibus you have the capacity of 15 seated and 7 standing passenger and 1 wheelchair. In the first part you have the normal floor because of the battery. They are placed under the floor, so you could not build a low entry or a low floor bus on this chassis. But in the back part you have a double door and you have place for the wheelchair or trolley, if you like. When we're driving really slowly with this bus, from 0 up to like 20 kilometers an hour, there is a special sound in the bus, but it's like a toy. And you have a camera in the front here that is, to be honest, right now the picture is really good. For 2 seconds ago I could not see anything. Oh yeah, now it's starting to be blurry again. Details that it's not perfect and they have to, of course, improve it. When you are driving this normally, you have a little bit recuperation of energy when you are rolling out. But if you touch the brake a little bit, you can see it's starting to recuperate a lot of energy. But if you have to stop at the bus stop or in the roundabout like now and you want to use the brake normally, you have to push it all the way in to have one reaction at all. So it's a little bit strange when you are driving normally, you only push a little bit on the brake pedal and everything's fine. But when you need to stop, you have to push the pedal more or less all the way to the floor. And I just heard some rumors that Magne is in the area.
So we are done testing all the vehicles here in Madrid, and now the jury have a big job to do. They will now go up to an office building here, sit down, have a long meeting and discuss which bus will be the winner of the Minibus of the year 2025. Thank you so much for watching the video here today. And if you like what you see, click down here, the button is called subscribe, and then you will see all the future videos from us in Bussmagasinet. Until next time, drive safely, have a great day.